Hello, everybody. Welcome to, once again, the Spartan Sports Report on TV3. And Ron and I are very happy to have the young lady that directs all the athletics going on at CHS. And Andrea Van Meter, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah. Glad to see you again.
A busy season.
Yeah. Busy season coming to the end, isn't it?
Old Man Winter canceled caused you a lot of problems, didn't he?
A little. Not a ton, but
okay.
Not as bad as it could have been.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, but the best week it could have happened, it did.
Well, no one was injured or anything like that. That's
absolutely.
important.
We kept kids safe.
That's the important thing.
Yep.
Nice to have you.
Thanks. It's beautiful outside, though.
Yes, it is.
If you're not enjoying the 60-degree weather today, you better get out there because spring sports are around the corner.
Yeah, and you talked before we went on the air about we could play baseball today.
We could play baseball today.
Sectional week, and many fans of high school sports say this is the most exciting week of the year.
It is a very exciting week, a very stressful week, but a very exciting week of the year. Lady Spartans will be hosting this year for the first time in a long time that we've had sectional games here at Connorsville. So we're very excited to host 5 new sectional opponents. Some are new to Spartan Bowl completely, and some it's been a long time. Jake County comes to us from the old Olympic Conference, and so their coach made the comment, I haven't been in this place in 15 years. So very nice to kind of have a chance to show what we have and show some of the updates that we have going on in there.
Exciting week. We'll talk more about the sectionals in just a few minutes, but might talk a little bit about the boys. They're struggling, aren't they, these young guys?
Well, I mean, it's been a tough season. I think it has, but they still work really hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't ever give up.
If you come to a game, the result on the scoreboard is not the result of their effort or the lack thereof.
Oh, not working hard, right.
They're trying really hard to find something.
It seems like when you're in something like this, the breaks just don't come.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we've been. We've been playing some teams that are just over.
Very good.
Like, 3-4 inches taller than we are.
Yes.
I mean, we can jump, but they can also jump and be 5-6 inches taller too. So
that's right.
Just can't catch a break with some of those teams.
We haven't been getting really that many, especially against Centerville the other night. I think Centerville got the first foul in the fourth quarter, like less than 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
In the second half, that's crazy. Yeah. Especially how physical that game was. It was like, wow, this is their first foul of the half. They didn't commit it in the third quarter. So, but that game against South Ripley when they lost by 19 was really closer. It's just at the end they started making a little bit of mistakes and they were hitting free throws and stuff, but they battled back.
Well, and South Ripley's a team that, I mean, they're not number 2
for a reason.
They're number 2 for a reason. And the kiddo that came and we kept him to 25 points, Cole, I can't remember Cole's last name, Henry. He actually hit his career, the school's career record of points the next night on Saturday night when he went back home. So we kept him to 25, which I think he's averaging between 25 and 30 points a game. So we had a defensive scheme, and it worked. Yeah. Third quarter, we were within, 5 points at one point?
4 or 5 points,
And we just couldn't keep going.
You are a former player and a coach. What's the toughest defense to play against, man-to-man or zone?
I mean, I think either one can be tough, depending on the personnel that's playing against you. I think man-to-man is tougher because it's harder to get away from a man-to-man defender.
Explain man-to-man for us in defense.
Well, I mean, a man-to-man defense is where one person guards one person.
You follow him around.
You follow him around, basically, and you hope you don't get screened and laid on your back.
That happens.
So it happens a lot. And so that's the hardest part with man-to-man is if you don't have good communication from your other teammates and you get hit by a screen and somebody's not there to jump out and stop the ball, that can be very, very difficult to recover from. I think zone defense is a tough defense if you've got tall kids. You can get big, long, lengthy arms, kids that can jump, kids that are quick. But if you've got guards and you don't have a bench sitting down there to kind of come in and sub, those guards are running back and forth, side to side. And you see the girls do that right now. I mean, they're playing the 2-3 zone, and Serenity and Addie and Anaya are running back and forth trying to get the ball, and especially when it's you need to score, you need to get the ball back. Zone's a little bit harder to play. It's
2-3 zone is that you've got 3 lined up
across the bottom.
right,
Yeah.
and then 2
Two at the
behind
top.
yes.
Yeah. Two at the
But you
top.
could switch that too. You can play a 3-2. You know, one. You know, one. You can do however you want to do it. You can do 1-2-2 and.
Sure. I mean, a successful half-court zone could also trap in the corners.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that we did when we played. If we played a zone, it was more so zone to trap.
Right.
So as soon as a girl turned her back, you were there crashing, trying to trap
Yes.
and keep
Yeah.
her
Yes.
in that corner. So once they got in a corner, you weren't supposed to let them out. So I think, they're all tough, pending what your personnel is.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I like about Shanna is that she knows when to make that adjustment as a coach, and the girls picked up on it. It was fun to watch them this year. You know, really grow. But you know, coming in a sectional, you know, this is the time where they got to put that 32 together.
Yeah.
You know, and they will. You know, I have no doubt.
They've had either a good first half or
Yeah.
a good second half,
Yeah.
and
And that
well,
the whole weekend with the kids, all of them, with the girls. But again, they battle back. You know, against St. Citro, the girls got down really huge. I think they were down 19 at one point too, and they battled back. And with McHenry, she hit that 3 and tied it, and they battled back. They just could not overcome. But
And I think
again,
both on the girls and boys side though too, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They get themselves in a hole.
And they just-
boys and girls get themselves in a hole to where they've got to work even harder
Yeah.
instead of staying there and maintaining and
Yeah.
playing that
Start at that
high,
level.
yeah, start at that level.
Yeah.
Then they're having to kind of dig even deeper. And I mean, you know, just like the boys, you know, they had a tough game against South Ripley on Friday night and then turned around and had a good Centerville team
Yeah.
that came in and was very competitive
Yes.
and really challenged them, which challenged them last year as well. And so it's hard. 2 tough days of
Sure
tough
is.
nose playing
Physical
against somebody
games.
else. Absolutely,
They
it's
were
physical.
very physical games, and what impressed me, what you talk about Henry,
Mm-hmm.
was you know, he was dominating that first half, and then they started putting 2 bodies on him, kind of really shut him down. He had like
Mm-hmm. Sure.
18 or 19 at the half, and was really non-existent that
Sure.
second half, which allowed the Spartans to.
But it took
to
how
come
many
back.
kids to guard him?
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, you know, you started with Mitch, and then you had Aaron Kidd on him, and
Yep.
Jed Garrett was in there, and Zane Bentley went in there.
Yeah, they
and,
were all on him.
I mean, we rotated through 4 boys to keep this one kid from hitting 25, 30 points.
He's not going to college.
He's not. Somebody
Yeah.
told me he's going to lineman school.
Yeah, no, which
So.
good for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was
good
a
for
tough
him.
series for the Spartans. They lost to number 2 ranked South Ripley. They're number 2 in 2A, so you know they're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, they're good.
They're
team.
pretty tough. They brought a great fan
Yes, they
fan
did.
base and
Yes, they did.
cheer block, and so it's kind of nice to bring him into Spartan Bowl. And
Yeah.
one of our assistant principals, Mr. Russell, was from.
They could be a 3A
Is he
one of
from
these
there?
days.
They could be. They absolutely could be.
Right,
I'm not
when
sure
the reclassifications come out, you never know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the enrollment
63 to
is.
44 was that final score. And then they lost to Centerville 50 to 43, and we talked about Centerville. They have moved up to 3A right now, aren't they?
They
Or
are. They're a
3?
lower,
Yes.
lower 3A. But yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Just a tough game.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it
again,
was.
kids working hard. They'll find it. They've got time. They still have a
Yeah, they
month
will.
before
Yeah, yeah,
tournament
they will.
time. and
Sure.
Just like you
Mac is
said,
trying
coming in at that
everything
level.
and putting kids in different spots. And I mean, the one thing you can say about him though is he's going to play who's working hard and who's
Yeah.
giving him their all in
Simpkins
practice.
started.
He did.
That's the first we have seen him
Sure.
get really any significant time. I don't remember him getting any of the games we broadcast any and he did well.
Yep. Talked to Mac
Did
a little
well.
bit about that prior to putting him in, and he just said he's seen him turn it up in practice, and he's challenging the varsity kids. And there's a lot of JV kids that are now challenging the varsity. So your spot's not guaranteed in anything. And I love that about a coach, because once you get that, you kind of settle. And
Right,
I
yeah,
think
you
if you
shouldn't
play
settle.
like you settle, then that's kind of where your result comes.
yeah,
So, mixing it up and playing the kids who are working hard.
Then Thursday, another tough game coming up for the boys, because they'll be going to Columbus and play Columbus North. They're number 4 in 4A, number 18 in 4A, so that'll be a tough game.
Another tough game.
But you win by playing tough games.
You do, and you get better for
And you
tournament
lose.
time by playing
yes,
those.
you
I mean,
learn.
these tough teams we're playing right now, we don't see in sectionals. We don't have very many sectional opponents on our schedule this year because we couldn't
Yeah.
get them on. But yeah, you get better by playing
That's
tough
right.
teams. And so go out and battle. Leave it all out there.
I agree.
Going to be a nice little bus ride.
Then the Lady Spartans are coming off of the win at home last Monday against Union County, 37 to 32. Then they lost to East Central, 46 to 42.
Oh.
That was a tough loss.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was a game that should have definitely been in the Lady Spartans' favor.
Yeah.
Probably should have been a game where they won by 20, but at one point we're down by 20.
You're
And
right,
so
yeah.
had to fight their way back, clawing and scratching just to get back to.
But they did.
They did.
They did.
They did. They just
was
ran out
very
of gas.
impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final record of 15-8 though, so that can be proud. That's a good season.
Absolutely. Better season than last year. Third place in conference this year. Actually, if they would be East Central, they would have been second.
Yeah, that's
so
right. Yeah.
they were all upset about that, more so than anything. So
We have some highlights from the game. They played at Spartan Bowl, the girls. So let's take a look at that right now. Tell us what we're seeing, Andrea.
So this is the boys against Centerville. This was Saturday
That's
night.
right, the boys.
Yep,
I was
so-
thinking we had the girls.
Nope, you're good. So this is the boys at Centerville. Got off to a
pretty decent
decent
start, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Centerville scored the first point, but we were able to kind of get off, but then we just couldn't hit anything.
Yeah.
We tried and tried.
Well, you see, it was 2-2, and then it was 14-2, just like
Yeah.
that.
Hunter stepped in, had a couple baskets. Like I said, though, you're looking at who he's rotating through there. You saw Aaron Kidd in there. You see Griff Wilson in there.
Yep.
Judd Garrett was in there. Zane Bentley. Some of the guard play was a little different. You had Peterson. You had
Yeah.
McHenry, like you had said.
Yeah.
Simpkins had started. Just a little bit different of a vibe. I think Coach Mack's just trying to find what 5 kids are going to compete and play.
See, right
all the
here,
time.
30-11, more than, halfway through the third quarter, we just got 14 points, and you thought, man, this is getting way out of hand. And this is when we started turning the tide. This is when we started things started getting really interesting.
Playing basketball.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you, Jaden right there, that fadeaway, I call that kind of a fadeaway three because he stepped back and, I don't know, the step back three was really got things going and cutting it to 15 to into 3.
So the
then right
3-point
there-
game definitely
Yeah, 12.
stepped up and helped us come back. But again, we got started too late.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Again, getting it a little bit too late there. It is
Made it a
down
little
to
harder
12.
to have to finish, yeah. So, I mean, again, I
was
think there's some
beautiful.
great plays, kids stepping up, playing tough. Again, you get gas, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you're playing 2 nights in a row, back to
Yeah.
back, with some really
You
tough
have
teams.
to make those
Yep,
comebacks like that.
absolutely you do.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddox hitting the 3. Boy, he hit some crucial 3-point buckets. But at the end, it's just that we had, that was beautiful. I tell you,
Hunter Allen.
Hunter Allen,
Coming from nowhere. And
yeah.
again, one of the smallest teams probably in our conference and in our sectional, but yet we got kids that can jump out of the gym.
Yeah, right.
And he's
I
one
know.
of them.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Comes flying in. Jaden Peterson comes flying in.
That's
Xander
where it cut
McHenry.
it to 4 right there with 14 seconds ago, and then it was just a matter of fouls right there.
Unfortunately,
And,
we had a couple turnovers there late
Yeah.
with a couple of seconds left that kind of
Yeah,
hurt.
hurt
But
us.
again, all in all, if we would have started out a little bit stronger, could have been a different outcome.
Could have been a different outcome, yeah.
Halftime, it's hard to go in at halftime and be down by more than 10 points.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
came back. They battled back.
really
and that's
hard
to impress me.
to fight an uphill battle all the time.
It is, and I think that's kind of where the boys and girls have been the past couple games. Both, I mean, they're just fighting and
Yes.
trying to claw and scratch to get out of the hole, and then they get there, and then by that time, they're kind of out of gas.
That's right, right. As we mentioned, the sectionals get underway, and on Tuesday night it'll be Yorktown and Newcastle, followed by the Delta and the Hamilton Heights games. So, and as you talked about, we won't play until Friday, and that's the winner of the first ball game.
Yep. So, Yorktown Newcastle plays at 6:00, and then Delta plays Hamilton Heights. And then we would play there right at 6:00 against the winner of Yorktown and Newcastle. And then Jay County will play the winner of Delta and Hamilton Heights. So,
What's the ticket situation?
so the tickets are $7 a piece. There's not an all-session pass like they used to offer.
Okay.
IHSA is not offering that this year. I'm not sure why. No one's told me, but that's my answer, that they're only doing single session. So it's $7 a night. You can buy them ahead of time through the IHSAA link. I
Okay.
just reposted it this morning on our website, ConnorsvilleAthletics.com.
Good.
It's also been on Facebook, but you can buy your tickets ahead of time, and that way you can enter in any door at Spartan Bowl, or you can pay cash or credit card at the main gate. And then our northeast gate, the one over closest to the hospital, will also be taking a credit card at that gate. So my suggestion is buy ahead of time so you don't have to stand in line.
Right.
Otherwise, you might see a decent lengthy line when you first come in for the first night, because you can only buy one ticket at a time.
What time will the doors open?
Doors open an hour ahead of time, so 5 o'clock on Tuesday and Friday, and then
Okay.
6:30 on Saturday.
Okay.
Do you have a
So-
tent or a cot or anything that you stay in? Since you're pretty much all week long?
No cot. I do feel like I've lived at the bowl the past week and a half, so
Oh yeah.
This
And you
week
got a
won't
lot
be any
more coming
different.
up? Yeah.
so
Well, some good teams in our sectional. Delta is 14-7,
okay.
and Hamilton Heights is, well, they're 5-16. Jay County is 10-12. Newcastle is 6-16. Yorktown is 15-6, and of course the Spartans are at 15-8. So some
It's
strong.
I think
strong
it's
back
kind of
teams.
one of those games where whoever decides to play hard and play for 32 minutes is going to be that team that's going to come out ahead. I think it's winnable. I mean, I really do. I think it's
Sure.
more so than in the past. I think this is a winnable sectional for us. If our girls show up and practice and play as a team, I think that they have what it takes. I know Delta's tough. They came in, Delta and Yorktown both came in this past weekend to practice. And their coaches were yelling and hollering, and you heard those sneakers squeak in there on the floor. And so, I don't know, we should be really proud to have this back, and I really hope our community comes out and supports it and cheers on any team. I think
Yeah.
good sportsmanship and just watching good basketball. There's just something about our gym and our fans
Yeah.
and just the atmosphere. I mean, I know you're not going to have the
Opening that we
opening
normally-
stuff and all this stuff at halftime, but I mean, it's just good basketball, and,
Yeah.
and kind of watching teams from other schools that you don't normally get to see is
Yeah.
also fun.
What are the restrictions on a sectional? What can you do and what you can't do?
Well, you can't enter the floor until right before 20. You get 20 minutes of warm-up time. You can't shoot or anything outside of the main gym. Like, you can run and warm up. So we'll put people in the arena. No noisemakers, no posters, no flash photography.
No fireworks?
No
or
fireworks.
Yeah.
If you want to do jumping jacks, you can.
Okay.
We really don't have to do anything at halftime, so really it's just kind of a play some music, kind of go get some food and snacks, go to the bathroom, and come back for basketball. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot of extra stuff
Right.
that goes on. I mean, our Spartanettes could dance if they wanted to when we played, but they have practice for their guy-girl dance for the end of the month. And then our band will be there on Friday night. I don't know that they can be there on Saturday night because they have competition. So,
Okay.
but all schools could bring their band if they wanted to. Most of them told me if they get in the championship, they'll bring their band. If not, they probably won't. So
And the officials are assigned by the IHSAA. You have nothing to do with it.
I have nothing to do with it. So don't yell at me if you don't like the officials. That's not my call. But no, they assign 6 to the tournament. We'll have 4 available each game. So they have an alternate. So there's one that usually sits at the scores table and kind of helps if there's something that comes up or a questionable call. They may refer to that person, or somebody gets sick during the game. They have someone. But we have 6 that come, and most of them are there every night.
What about traffic control? I understand some streets will be blocked off.
Yep, so we are blocking off between 19th and 20th there on Indiana, between the middle school and the hospital for bus parking. So they'll drop the kids off
This is
at the
for the
main gate.
buses?
For the buses, yeah.
Yes.
So the players' buses as well as the cheer buses if any come, band if they bring a band, just basically to kind of keep the front of the building clear. Not hospitality, VIP parking. So administrators and other coaches' families or whoever they choose to give parking passes to will park across the street in the church. So that lot is closed. It's not a pay to park this time. And then every other parking is up to you.
Now, you said they're blocking. You said Indiana or
Yeah, Indiana between 19th and 20th
okay.
there.
What about Grand?
So Grand will be open like it always is.
Like
Yep.
always. Okay.
So, but yeah, then you just park where you want to, friend.
Okay.
So if you want to park at McDonald's and walk, you can.
Don't know why you would.
I don't know. I don't know.
How's the JV basketball doing?
Both the JV girls and the JV boys basketball teams are doing really well. Even our freshman boys team were undefeated until they suffered their first loss in the conference tournament last week.
That, yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of them are playing hard. All those kiddos are playing hard.
Yes.
Looking to move up. I know a lot of the JV girls are dressing for the varsity roster for
Okay.
sectionals, and I know there's a lot of the JV boys that are being looked at by Coach Mack. So,
Well, if Simpkin starts, you know that the other kids are like,
absolutely.
man.
He's looking.
Yeah.
He is
the
looking.
JV team won 42 to 40 or 52 to 46 over South Ripley, and they beat Centerville 42 to 31.
They looked really good.
And they'll be in action on Thursday night at Columbus North.
And the
6
freshmen
o'clock.
will be as well. The freshmen are playing at Columbus North as
Oh,
well. So they'll
good.
play at the same time as JV in two different gyms. Yep.
We're going to have any of those schedules? where you have-
Well, this Columbus North one was one. We were supposed to have Oldenburg, but they didn't have enough to play both. But
Oh.
a lot of the teams that we used to do that with, we don't play anymore. So that's why.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's good. And it's looking pretty good for Spartan Sports, I think.
It is. We've got some other sports that are going on. Wrestling competed on Saturday.
Yeah.
They had their sectionals down at Franklin County. Eric Fox placed third, and Levi Rowland placed fourth. And so both of them are going on to regionals this coming Saturday at
Good.
Richmond. And so that's at 9 o'clock. And then girls swimming is heading to sectionals at New Pal.
Oh, wow.
Thursday is prelims, and then Saturday is the finals.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are going on. And
Anybody
gymnastics is in full swing.
Anybody going to Throne Carmel at the girls swimming?
Did you see their $55 million pool just got opened?
Probably not, yeah. It's be like 38 in a row, 39, 40. I
Oh,
don't know.
42-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So spring sports right around the corner, I suppose.
They're in there working out,
practicing,
aren't
lifting
they?
and
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah.
Coming in
and
a hurry.
They are. We're about indoor track starts February 16th or 17th. So they can start official practice. And then
And
it's
they
about
do
a
it at
month.
Fieldhouse? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then there's a month between that and softball and baseball. So it's here.
And the draw for the section will be coming up in a couple of weeks.
For boys, yes, it would be end of this month, end of February.
Yeah. It's usually it'd be the
23rd?
Yeah, I was gonna
23rd?
say the week before. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that
think it's the
week, yeah.
23rd.
That
And the
Sunday.
sectional will
It's at
be played.
Newcastle. Yeah, they play at Newcastle.
Okay.
Yep. So we couldn't win that one. I tried. I tried. Same teams, same 6 teams in it, but they want to go to Newcastle. So
And is there a chance since that we'll get another sectional again?
there's always a chance. It's just how much I can sell it. So I'm really trying to sell
It's
it this
the
year.
Spartan Bowl.
I know, but our parking's not good. That's why.
I think it's the
That's-
best parking ever.
Well,
Here's
and you
the
also
reason
have
why.
to understand that some of these teams are driving pretty far. Like Jay County coming to us is a pretty far commute, which it would
That's
be closer
true.
to go to Newcastle
Yeah,
or it'd be
that's
closer
true.
to go to Yorktown. So that's kind of where those schools are complaining
Yeah.
about. But I know you can park farther away, a couple streets over, and
that's
get out
true.
faster than a parking lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And hopefully this spring we'll get the hospital and maybe we can get a parking lot put in
Yes.
there. That would help
Sure.
out too.
yeah,
But
when they raise that. Yeah.
so we're trying. We're trying to do some little things at this girls basketball sectional, just some little special touches and some different things with the teams, just to hope maybe they'll go back and talk about, wow, maybe we want to go back to
Yeah,
Connersville.
got
They're nice
parking
people.
now. Remember the hospital? It's not there anymore.
Yeah,
You can
they're
park
nice
there.
people.
Yeah,
We want to be nice people.
yeah, we are good people.
Yeah.
We want to wish the Lady Spartans the best of luck this
Yeah.
week.
They have some days of practice to get some things fine tuned, and hopefully they're ready to go.
Is that good or bad not to be playing early in the tourney?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of them got hit with sickness.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls that came into practice on Saturday from other teams were sick. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I guess you can rest up. They get a chance to watch Tuesday to see who they're going to play. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's not a good thing. So
I think Shannon said she enjoyed, if I remember right, when she was on the show a couple weeks ago. I think she said she liked having the bye or looked forward to the bye, but the players probably don't because they want to get the nerves out of the way right away.
Well, they don't want to practice for 4 days either.
Well, no, right, yeah, and you want to play, and I think for me, if I were a player, I wouldn't want to bye simply because I'm excited. You get the nerves going. You got a team that's already played. They're in that mode, and
sure. But I guess it also helps though that it's your home court.
Well,
if it wasn't your home court, then I could see wanting to jump out and play. But with it being your home court and you've been on that court enough times,
that's true.
That running out of the tunnel isn't as eye-opening as it is if you're from another team thinking, oh my gosh, because they came out with nobody in the bleachers.
Yeah,
they're going to have to run out with people sitting in the bleachers, and it's going to be a whole different experience on Tuesday.
True.
So
true.
Coaches don't like a lot of time, layoff time, though, do they, between games?
I don't know. I mean, when I was a coach, not really. I kind of like the couple days of practice and then go out and compete. Just because my players' attention span was not good.
Right.
But I think this week they got a chance to look at film. They'll get a chance to watch, and then they'll get to know who they're playing and get a chance to even kind of prepare a little bit more.
That's good.
And I mean, sectional time, they have different plays. You have different offense and defense. So, Shayna and Scott and Kevin and Monica will be watching what the other teams are doing, what offenses, defenses are running, and then we get a chance to kind of see that sectional offense and defense instead of what they were doing preseason. So, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons both ways.
It can be tiring if you work them too hard, I guess.
Sure. I know my kid, she's like, Mom, we had practice for 4 days. I'm like, well, one of them's going to be short because you can't be there forever because the other teams are coming, but she'll be fine.
And yeah, remember too, they got schoolwork to do, which is amazing because a lot of these kids are on the honor roll.
Oh yeah, I think most of our girls' basketball team is AB students. AB honor roll.
That wasn't me. I didn't care about it. I just wanted to pass. I could care less.
Yeah.
I was there for school for socializing.
No, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've covered the girls' JV team or not.
We did. We talked a little bit about the girls' JV team. Yep, they're playing really well.
Yeah.
Good.
A lot of those girls are going to see some time with
You mentioned
the sectional coming up.
And they did. That's what Clint and I talked about. Perry and McHenry. They had gotten some. And I think there was one other girl that came off the bench during the East Central game, and we had seen a couple games before. I think the Rushville game, they were starting to get a little bit more time. I think Shannon was implementing them a little bit more time, getting that experience in there, which is good. The future's bright for the girls. Very, very exciting to see them. As we were talking before, your daughter and Kendall, when they're going to start meshing.
Yeah.
I saw them really gel real well this year. I just think when they have a few more years under their belt,
Sure.
it's going to be incredible.
Fran, did you talk about gymnastics on Wednesday?
Oh, that's right.
No, we didn't.
Okay, so gymnastics, we have gymnastics meet tonight, and then Wednesday, TV3 is going to be there.
I'm not covering it because I don't know anything about gymnastics. So
Wiley is not going to be, he's not going to be covering it, but there will be video of the meet that'll be viewed afterwards, I believe. I don't think it's going to be a live stream. But I know our gymnasts work really hard. We have 11, I believe, on the team. Coach Borders puts in so much time.
Yes.
And not
She's
only
a
with
Hall
our
of Famer.
girls. Well, not even with our girls, though. We have 5 other girls from 5 other schools that are competing at every one of our home meets. And so I think it's great to give it credit. I'm glad that TV3 is going to video that. I'm interested to see what that looks like because in one little gym and 4 different things.
I think John's interested to see how
so
it's going to look like.
I think John is worried about that. I love it. But yeah, that'll be nice. It's Columbus East coming to town, which is it's a pretty big gymnastics rival for us.
That'll be great to have that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
I know the fans will enjoy it very much.
Excellent.
Hey, thanks for your time this evening and bringing us up to date on what all's going on at CHS and another big week at CHS.
Another big week.
Thanks, Andrea. And thanks, everybody, for watching tonight here on TV3, this edition of the Spartan Sports Report. We hope you have a good evening.